Hi everyone, it's Carrie Cudney again, and I'm ready to do square number 5 of the Every Last Detail tray. This is a fun one with the apple tree or the button tree in the background and the two little birds flying in front of it, and we've got some fringy grass down here. So let me show you how to put that together and give you a couple of tips on using your Distressing Essentials kit. So I'll move the tray out of the way. You'll start with your background, and this one's really simple to do. On your very vanilla cardstock, stamp the little tree from the Best of Everything stamp set, and I markered it with soft suede and Lucky Limeade ink. And I just did 2 trees, one on each side, and then we're going to build our big tree in the middle. You should have a little scrap left over from your wood sheet. And I'm just going to distress that with my Distressing Essentials kit. This is the tea stain ink. In your kit, you actually get 4 colors of ink. And I just usually pick the color that matches the neutral of my project the best. And tea stain is usually the one that I reach for the most often, but there is a blue and there is a charcoal if you're using black or gray, and there's a mahogany if you're using a darker brown. But you can see that just kind of gives me a little bit of color. So that's going to be my tree trunk. For the base of my tree, I just cut out a circle, or punched out a circle out of Lucky Limeade cardstock, and I'm going to spritz this with a little bit of water. This is kind of the same technique that we did in square number 4. I'm just going to kind of moisten that and then distress it. Just crumple it up, get as many wrinkles as I can, because that's what's going to give it texture and make it pop off the square. Open it back up, and then I'm going to use my tea stain ink to distress this piece as well. I really like the look that happens here because just the top of the wrinkles and the distressing picks up the tea stain ink. And it just gives it that fun, kind of antique-y, distressed look. So we'll put that on our tree. Now to make the tree even cuter, more cute, I'm going to use the clouds that we have left over that we punched out when we did the stenciling in square number 3. And I just traced them onto Lucky Limeade polka dot print paper and then cut out the paper and glued them onto the Merry Medley on board. And this is a great time to use the little tools in your Distressing Essentials kit. You of course have the sanding block and the file, and the bigger tools look great for the longer straight edges, so you can try those. And then you get the 3 smaller tools that are great for, you know, the smaller corners or to get into tinier places, the more detailed areas. So try out all of those tools. I love this flat file. It's great for sanding off the edges. And then just like my other pieces, I'll distress the edges of this one a little bit. Just kind of picking that up and rubbing my tea stain ink around the edges. If you ever get like a stripe or a look that you don't like, a harsher look with your tea stain ink or your distressing ink, that's what this piece of the Distressing Essentials kit is for. It's a blending stamp. So after you rub on your ink, you can come back in and kind of rub the ink a little bit, and it will blend it a little bit, and that's how you can get rid if you ever get a stripe or a look you don't want. You can blend it out with that piece. So now I'll position my fluffy leaves on my tree, this one up here. That just gives the tree a little bit more dimension. Put that in the center so you can see. And then I've just stamped the button from the Best of Everything stamp set, and I've just punched out 3 of these with the itty bitty shapes, and you can position those on your tree however you'd like. So we have the cute tree and the background ready. Now let me show you how to make the birds. Use your bird punch to punch out a Daffodil Delight and a pool party bird. And then before you attach the wings, I have attached a little bit of baker's twine, just using my multi-purpose liquid adhesive. I just put a tiny dot of adhesive there and then adhered my baker's twine. Now for the wings, I'm actually going to use the triple layer blossom punch, and I've just cut this piece right in half down the center. And then here's another fun way to use your Distressing Essentials kit. One of the small tools, I have the file out. I'm just going to kind of score a little line. And since this is such a small detailed piece, it's easier to do it with that small little tool instead of trying to use your scoring tool or bringing out a bigger tool. And I'm just going to fold the very end of that in. And then again, put a little bit of my liquid adhesive. And this is why I did the baker's twine first, because I can put the wing on top of the baker's twine. Just kind of hold it there for a second. And then do the same thing on the other side. So you'll get your bird with 2 wings. And then you'll use your Calypso coral flower to do the wings on your pool party bird. Let me bring in the finished tray one more time to kind of show you how I put those birds on. I put a glue dot up here on the top of square, or the very bottom ledge of square number 3, and then a glue dot down here on the frame, and then kind of stretch that baker's twine and adhere those to the frame. And you can see you can kind of hide that glue dot with the grass and the square above it. And then I covered up the baker's twine down here with a little bit of grass. And I created that just by punching, again with my dotted scallop ribbon border punch, and then using my paper snips just to cut a little fringe in there and then kind of scrunch it with your fingers to give it the look of grass. And that's all there is to square number 5. We're almost done. We'll see you back here for square number 6. Thanks for joining me.